Hi everyone, this tutorial is on protein synthesis and it's a triple science topic only. So protein synthesis just means making proteins. So proteins have to be in a particular shape in order to be able to function. So proteins are made of amino acids and all the amino acids are joined together and bonded together, but then they fold into a particular shape in order to function. So for example, amylase is an enzyme, which is a protein, and it has to function in a certain way, fold into a certain way in order to produce an active site. So it has to be a specific shape. So if there's any mutations in any of those or any mutations in the DNA that's made those amino acids, you get a change in the amino acid that is there and potentially causes the shape of the protein to change. If that protein shape changes, then the protein can't function. So the DNA sequence in each nucleus of your cell decides the amino acids and their sequence. And then that protein folds to carry out a particular function. You only have 21 amino acids available to you to make proteins. Around 10 of them you can make yourself, but the rest need to be taken in through your diet. So you eat protein, it gets broken down into amino acids, and then those amino acids are rearranged stuck together during protein synthesis to make new proteins, for example, muscle. So the first stage of protein synthesis is transcription, and this happens in the nucleus. So first of all, Rna Polymerase, which is an enzyme, comes to the DNA molecule. Now, if you look at the DNA molecule here, it's a double helix. It's got two strands, and those strands are held together by weak hydrogen bonds. The RNA polymerase binds to the non-coding region. So the non-coding region is the region in between genes that doesn't make a protein. So the gene would follow on from the non-coding region. So the gene would be, say, here, and the non-coding region here. The gene is the coding region, so the gene makes the protein or gives the instructions to make the protein. So the RNA polymerase comes here, it unwinds the DNA, so it breaks the weak hydrogen bonds and separates out the two strands. Once they're separated out, the RNA polymerase then makes an mRNA molecule. So an mRNA molecule is a messenger RNA molecule, and it's single-stranded. Unlike DNA, which is double-stranded, this is single-stranded. And because it's single-stranded, it's able to leave through the nuclear membrane and go into the cytoplasm, which we'll explain in a minute. So the RNA polymerase has unwound the DNA, allowed the mRNA then to come in and be made. So we can see here, this is a blown up version of what we're looking at. We can see the mRNA molecule is coming in here. Wherever there's a G, there's a C. Wherever there's an T in the DNA, there's an A. But if we look here, when we have an A in the DNA, we actually have a U in the mRNA. So mRNA and tRNA actually use U instead of T. So you must remember that if you're having to draw out a complementary strand of mRNA from DNA, wherever there would normally be a T in DNA, there is now a U in the mRNA. So the mRNA is made, it's produced a copy of the DNA there. Now we want to have a copy of the DNA because we want to make the same kind of sequence of the protein. So if we make a copy first and then take a copy from that, we then get the same sequence of protein as the DNA was originally. So once this mRNA molecule is made, it leaves the nucleus through the nuclear membrane and goes to the ribosome, which is in the cytoplasm. So that whole stage there within the nucleus is called transcription. The next stage is called translation. So the mRNA goes to the ribosome. So this kind of grey purpley structure here would be the ribosome. The single-stranded mRNA has come in. So in the ribosome, there's lots of tRNAs. So there'll be lots and lots of tRNAs, all with different amino acids stuck to them. And they're all waiting around to be able to meet the mRNA. So the first one here has come in, it's brought, so if we look at this as being a whole one, this is the anticodon attached to an amino acid. This here is the codon. So we've split the mRNA into triplets, so 3 base pairs, and this will be called a codon. The tRNA brings an anticodon with it, bound to an amino acid. So this first one will have come in, bound here, brought with it this amino acid. As soon as that amino acid is bound to another amino acid, that tRNA leaves to collect another amino acid. This tRNA here, this transfer RNA, has come in here again with its anticodon, attaching to its codon with its amino acid, and that's bound to the original amino acid there. Then again, we get another tRNA coming in with its codon, anticodon, and its amino acid. And eventually, once these are bound together, these will then leave again to collect more amino acids, and we'll be left with a big long chain of amino acids that we call a polypeptide chain. Just poly means lots, peptide means lots of amino acids, but lots of amino acids bound together, and we call that polypeptide chain, which is actually a protein. And all this is called translation. It's happening in the ribosome, which is present in the cytoplasm. And I think that together just describes protein synthesis. If you've got any more questions, then please email me and let me know, and we can go through things. If we just look at this here, these are all the different codons that can be used to bring with the amino acids. It's not something to worry about, but you can just see there's lots of different codon sequences bound to different amino acids, and that allows us to have all these different amino acids brought together to make the polypeptide chain. So finally, here's some questions just to help you if you want to have a go at them after the tutorial. And we'll just give you a second. If you want to pause it at this stage, you can pause it and then do the questions. And then here are the 2 slides worth of answers for you to go through. It'd be really good to do question 6 and draw that flowchart out from this tutorial to really get a good understanding of step-by-step process of how protein is made from DNA. And here are the answers to the last one.